We talk about what His Excellency Turkey has been building in boxing in just about a little bit over a year, right at a year, somewhere around there. It's been phenomenal. And I think just the way he's continued to evolve and change now. This is the very first event that's not being held in Saudi Arabia. It's now being held in Los Angeles this week for the first one on American soil, held by him. But what he's been trying to bring into boxing has been unique. And we saw it last night. Last night was a really incredible showing that they put together. It's an all week display of celebrating it, preparing for the fights. We have everything throughout the duration of a week that is all being streamed live. You can watch every single day between the grand arrivals. You have the open workouts. You have press conference today, weigh-ins, and I haven't seen the press conference yet since it's been going on during the show. But last night, grand arrivals, we have the open workouts yesterday. We see all the fighters work out, and then he does something a little bit unique. And this got released and announced, I think it was about Friday night, Thursday, Friday, something like that, where he was going to switch up a little bit. Instead of just having the open workouts and then concluding, he was going to add in a 3-fight card last night that went down. And that was interesting. You have a couple of young guys that are up-and-comers. You have a couple top 10 ranked fighters in the respective weight classes. And so we had a 3-fight card last night after the open workouts, something that we haven't seen before. Now, this is something that we can't expect from other promotions to necessarily do because we know the funding that Saudi has and His Excellency has. So when they're putting this together, he knows that this is a free product. Anybody could have attended last night, and you saw the way that the whole broadcasting crew talked about this, the way the crowd grew from the beginning of the fight when not many people knew about it to how large that crowd was there by the end of the night was incredible to see. And so we had a 3-fight card last night. We had Mark Castro. He beat George Acosta. Then we had Giasov. He outpointed Miguel Parra. That was a fight that I thought he won by a lot more than he should have. He's setting himself up to be a contender fight in the very near future. We probably will see that before the end of the year, early next year now. And then we had Nathan Lugo. He stopped Ray Corona, and that was also an interesting fight. I don't think in that stop, Lugo was going to defeat him regardless. It was a beatdown. However, I do think the ref stopped a little early, but however, it was obviously going to be over very shortly. The point I'm making here, though, is that when we look at the changing of boxing, a lot of people will critique or say certain things about whatever His Excellency is doing. But from a business aspect, the truth is that there was Dana White talked about this before, and he mentioned how so many of these boxing events, they're not built to build a fan base in the sense that it's not really a business plan. It's not meant for fans to be enjoyable and to be a direct to consumer, and the consumers enjoy the product. They want to keep returning to the product. It is a one-off experience time and time again. And it's not like they've been building something. And so what His Excellency has done is he's coming in now and he's building a blueprint. He knows that it's going to take a lot of money to rebuild the sport back up to the spotlight that he believes it should be at and it has the potential to be at. And he's importing all this elite talent to make these great cards. He's putting on an entire event. It's an all-week event, each and every single one of these fight cards. He's putting on mega performances. We have Eminem performing this weekend in the Saudi fight that's going down in LA. You've got the little baby and that whole performance that went on in between the Francis fight against Tyson Fury. It's a constant evolution of what he's building in boxing right now, and it's something that he's building a fan base. This is going to take a couple of years to build up, and it's quickly growing. But to get to a point where the UFC has a much better business model, we see how well the value of the business has grown and skyrocketed in years recently. It's going to need to form something. And I know there's rumors. We know what everything unfolding and his dream plan is of getting everybody into an organization and having essentially the UFC of boxing. That's a topic I can get into another time. But I think what he's building is spectacular. I think it's amazing for the sport. I think it's changing the sport. I think it's revolutionizing the sport.